Hello, it's Jeff from jeffrey-thomas.com, and today we're going to walk through the pentatonic patterns for A major, F sharp minor, or F sharp blues. So pentatonic patterns written above, chord shape highlighted, and then the actual chord underneath below here for all your fingerings. So let me jump right in and start with the first pattern. We're here at the 2nd fret, and we have 2 notes per string on these patterns. So 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. Now, when you get to the highest note of the scale, you're just going to walk right back down. So you're reading the scale from left to right, and then when you go from the high note, just come back down. So far so good? Okay, cool. Chord shape. That's the stock F sharp minor bar chord there. Why is it important to know a chord shape and a scale shape? Well, if you want to go back and forth from rhythm playing to lead playing, it's really important, right? So, moving on, next pattern is at the 5th fret. Chord is going to be A major, stock A major bar chord there, full bar, and then the other fingers down, right? And now the scale pattern that fits there is going to be 2, 4, 2, 4, I'm sorry, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4, okay? And then come back down. Notice on the way back down I was picking the same note twice, and down, up, right? Really important. I'll explain a bit more about that too, as far as picking technique and whatnot. Okay, moving on, the next pattern in, the 3rd pattern in, is going to be at the 7th fret. So, we are starting with our first finger. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. That's easy enough, right? 1, 3, even though it's a 4 fret span, we're going to use our 3rd finger. 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 3. Okay, coming back down. Okay, vibrato optional. Alright, now, the reason for the 3rd finger and the 4th finger here. Okay, so if you were to use your 3rd or your 4th finger twice, it would be really awkward, right? So you split that little area of the scale up with your 3rd and your 4th. Sorry. And that allows you to get more fluid by not using your pinky twice. Very important to point that out. Chord that goes there. Some of you hotshots may know that as a D chord. Whoa, that's a D chord, but no open notes, right? So can't play it like that. We need to move it up here and bar. No 6th string on this chord. So for chord and scale writing, if there isn't anything written on a string, then you just don't play it. Some books will write like an X to remind you not to play that string. Okay, the next pattern is going to be at the 9th fret, and this is the chord labeled F sharp minor over C sharp. So that slash, when you see that slash, is said as over. For example, the chord before it is A over E, and then the next chord is F sharp minor over C sharp, and then A13 over E. I'm reading through the chord labeling there. So slash is set as over, if you didn't already know that. Let me run this next one for you at triplets. Yep, triplets. 3 notes per beat. I'm going to play the same note 3 times. Here at 80 on the metronome. Chocolate, long as it's in rhythm, right? Triplets are interesting because it's an odd number, so you're going to have down, up, down, and then the next set is going to be up, down, up. So kind of an exception for when you would pick up or down is when you're into triplets. Okay, staying on track here, let's move to the next pattern, which is at the 12th fret. And kind of a goofy chord, but I wanted to make sure I wrote a chord that had as full as possible, all 6 strings. If you want to trim it back to just 2, you can just use a little power chord there, right? Or you could use, that's probably most common there, that little 4-note shape, 4-note chord right there. Anyway, the scale pattern. Coming back down. Okay. Now, the rest of the guitar, continuing up the guitar, no big deal. You're just going to take this pattern here and move it all the way up to here, right? And start again, and then run that pattern. Right? And then until you run out of room. All of these patterns that you've done up here are just going to transfer up here. Moving into the licks, let's go to number 1. You can see I wrote a bunch of licks down here for you, and I want to make sure we have time to get to those. Lick number 1 is going to be okay, let me run it for you at 80. Ready, go. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to start to vary it, okay? Okay, so once you get the hang of things, you can start to put some sauce on it, right? All players do. Everybody. The list goes on from, I don't care if it's Avenged Sevenfold or Stevie Ray Vaughan, it's going to be the same thing, regardless of style, and varying things. So one of the variances that I was doing was sliding there right into the from 1 to 2, and then you might notice that guy. That's out of the scale. It's from the blues scale, but I'll try and stay on track here. Sorry. Okay, number 2. I'll run the lick for you. You might recognize that as the little intro to My Girl in the key of A. All right. So let me run it for you with time. Ready, go. Grace note slide from 3 to 4, right? Grace note is that little dashy thing, if I haven't brought this up already. And it's detached from the normal notes, and grace notes are instant without time. So hammer-ons, bends, slides, pull-offs, taps can all be a grace note. And they are, the thing to remember about a grace note is they are without time. They're instant. Okay, so let's move on to number 3. Up here. Okay, there's a good example of a grace note backslide. Okay, now with time it'll become a lot clearer. Here I am at 80 again. Ready, go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you can tweak this a little bit. A lot of blues guys will dig in this area and bend only the second string up a half step. So it's going from like 10 to 11. Very common little blues thing. Alright, number 4 is going to be a bend. Okay, so I want you to see how I'm doing that, right? Nice and clear. I am targeting the sound of 6, but I'm back here at 4. Okay, and bending up to the sound of 6, and then playing, and then we would have, okay, these are in triplets. Down on this, you'll recognize it, Chuck Berry, Keith Richards type thing. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, da da da, right? Okay, number 5. Same thing in this area with the that I talked about a bit before. Okay, a good example of why to use the 4th and the 3rd finger. Number 6 is going to be okay. So. Grace note hammer-ons. Let me run that for you with time. Number 6. Ready, go. 2, 3, 4. So, or cut them short. Hear the difference there? Okay, the last one is combining 2 patterns, 2 pentatonic patterns. So, Eric Johnson, perfect example of this kind of thing. And then you cut up here and go into the next pattern there, or the one that would be at the 12th fret. And then let me run that for you. Okay, and this would be in 16th notes. So a good example of mixing 2 pentatonic patterns into each other, which is totally fine. Okay, if further help, I'm teaching on Skype and webcams, Uvu, Yahoo Messenger, Windows Live. So studying online is cool. It means you can be wherever and I can be wherever, right? And I hope this was a little help. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. And related lessons, there's going to be a scale practice routine coming up, which is going to address a lot of technical issues for picking, and that would probably be a good one to check out. So until next time, aloha.